To get started on masks, you need newspaper. It's messy. You might also want an apron because making a mask with the right materials is messy. Mask materials, to add skin, you have options. Cellulose adds a kind of a thick, doughy texture to your surface. Plaster of Paris is like making a cast on your mask. I'll show you how to work with these materials in a moment as well. To work with cellulose or plaster, you will need a plastic bowl from underneath my cart. Don't fill your bowl very deeply, just about the thickness of a pinky. Many of you might want to start with your own new form of mask. I'm fine with that. I also invite you to recycle something. Take what somebody has abandoned and build upon it. I'm going to build on this. To build new bones for your mask, you're going to get little scraps of cardboard. You have no reason to use big cardboard. Use little scraps that people have left behind and abandoned. To change the bones of this paper form, we need to score cardboard and bend it. Scoring cardboard is very easy. You'll remember that corrugated cardboard has a paper layer, and the corrugation in between. And what we're interested in is simply scoring open by cutting through the paper layer on top, not all the way through, just a shallow cut of the paper itself on top. Okay? And this allows us to bend it. And when it's bent, we can alter and create shapes, building bones, so to speak. I want to see the nose changed, I need to see the mouth changed, and the eyes change. Otherwise, it's just a store-bought mask that you've painted, and that's not enough. What you need to do is alter the bones altogether. Consider this example by a student named Mar. He scored lots of cardboard. I'm very proud of his effort here. It looks great. He's completely altered. There's no resemblance at all to the store-bought paper form. He's made this completely unique and original. Now, he chose to paint this as it is, which is fine. Because he's altered the surface, I'm fine with it. If he wished to give this skin of some kind, then we would need plaster or cellulose. And I'll show you how to do that next. So we're in our supplies here. Again, cellulose will be a moment later. So to demonstrate plaster, you get the plaster scissors out of this box, and you can choose any color. Color won't show. I'm going to cut this into strips about the size of Band-Aids and make them wet, damp, and place them on the mold. Here's an example of a mask that has already taken a lot of plaster treatment. I'm going to add a layer of plaster. Again, the strips are small, they're the size of Band-Aids. You just get them damp. You don't have to get them sopping wet. And then you spread and move the plaster out of little holes and about, okay? It's that simple, and that's how we build up. Years ago, casts for broken bones were made this way. So you've ever seen photographs of people with large, clumsy, kind of paper cloth looking forms that were very stiff? They were made this way as well. So that is how we build a mask up from its new bones of scored cardboard with plaster. A word about the plaster water. Let's not put it in the sink. Plaster does build up in sinks and hardens, not good. We just throw it away in the trash. To get cellulose, you just use a scooper inside the bag. You start with cellulose, not water. Start with just a little bit. You can always add water. Let's not waste it. And you want it the thickness of oatmeal. Just a little bit until it's sticky like oatmeal. Get it all wet. And that is good when it's a little lumpy like oatmeal. This mask has already been done with cellulose, and this has its own value. Okay, it crackles, it builds, and it's quite beautiful. To apply this, It's just like putting oatmeal on something, and when it dries, it will stick. I discourage making it too thick. Keep it up in thin layers. If it's too thick, it'll basically ruin the paper mold. We've watched students lose their masks with too much moisture and the cellular clay applied too thickly. So just do this in small layers. And this can be shaved and sanded like the plaster. If you want to make it smooth, I'll show you one other option for super smooth masks next. And again, this we don't ever put in the sink, we just throw it in the trash. One of the best masks I've ever seen a student make, this is from Allie, and she has altered the bones really well. That's all cardboard underneath. She's created a new brow, she's changed the eyes, she's built a nose, and above the lips, fantastic. And if you see it's kind of smooth and more even, that's because Allie used modeling paste. Ask Mr. Zisk, he will go get the modeling paste. You will get a painting knife as well. And it just acts like cupcake frosting that dries rock hard. Does that make sense? You don't need a lot, it's very strong, and it smoothens over with sanding, and you have a very even and clean surface, such as Allie built up here. If you look up at the variety, the masks that have been made in this class have been astonishing. I'm very proud of people's efforts and imagination with regard to these masks. You'll see all kinds of techniques, not just paint on a store-bought mold, not at all, but a lot of modification and change. This is what I'll expect of yours as you push forward into your own ideas of masks.